Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the post-game recap of OSU's 75-68 victory over UT Arlington. Game 1 is in the books. Cade Cunningham makes his debut. Has a pretty extraordinary game. I know Frank Frichello said it on the broadcast. He said his first career double-double in his first career game. Pretty darn impressive performance from Cade Cunningham and the rest of this OSU team. But some minor nuances here and there that we'll discuss and break down today. I'm Ryan Novozinsky, joined here as always by Sudeep Tumma. Sudeep, what was your first initial thoughts? After this game, after this first victory in the books for OSU?
So many things. First things first. I wouldn't really consider it a bad performance by any means.
Right.
Obviously, you had little things here, but those little things can really build up to be bigger things, and that is sports. But yeah, the turnovers for sure, which we'll get into more. The defense of UT Arlington, which was really impressive. I have to give more credit to UT Arlington. They shrunk the floor whenever they got into the paint, as in OSU got into the paint. UT Arlington was right there. They were swiping at balls. They were, attacking the passing lanes. They were playing tremendous defense, rotating well. They're a veteran group for sure, experienced. And OSU's young, obviously. Yeah. But these are some of the things you have to you deal with the young team, learning how to get around it. But and here's the thing also. Let's start with the turnovers. I think there are turnovers, there are bad turnovers. Yeah. That is the thing. Every turnover comes down to the same in the stat book, but there are certain turnovers when you hit them and the defense gets it, they swipe it away, and it's just one-on-one down in the fast break. That's a bad turnover. Or one where they swipe the ball goes down the court, they get it, they're going down in the fast break, and no one can stop them. Those are the turnovers that really kill you. And the turnover margin was bad for OSU, and that was definitely one of the main things for sure.
Yeah, an 18-5 turnover margin, a 12-1 steal margin in favor of the UTA Mavericks. And Sudeep, my goodness, I think the one that sticks out most of all is that 29-2 points off turnover margin for the Mavericks there.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't think OSU played bad defense. I think they rotated really well. You saw that. You have a lot of really good one-on-one defenders, from Cade to Likely to Avery. And even with the lack of size, you see OSU rotating well, playing team defense, and doing it well in the half court. But the problem was when you give away turnovers and you give them easy points essentially, there's no defense for it. One-on-one, doesn't matter how good a defensive unit you are. Look at Virginia all these past years. Whatever they did, they always played smart, contentious basketball. So in the half court, they would execute well, and when they missed, they got back in transition.
Right.
You couldn't get anything on them. That's what you have to do, right? But OSU, they just kept turning the ball over, and it really got done in the second half. But I think it was interesting all around. It was a good feel-out game to see what this team's kind of going to move like, how the players are going to develop. A lot of young guys who are continuing to develop. They develop jump shots, play style, etc. And I think we learned a lot from this game. At least I did.
Yeah, I did for sure. And especially learning some of these new players, right? Not even just the new players, but some of these, I guess you can call them veterans now, here and there in the mix too. What really impressed me was Matthew Alexander-Moncrief and what he was able to do on both sides of the floor today, right? Scoring a little bit inside too, right? And then defensively too, I think he was really just impressive all around, and his rebounding really stuck out to me as well. So what did you see from him and sort of what the number one player in Canada can do?
His motor is what stuck out to me when you watch the high school film. He is a tenacious rebounder. That's where you see it number one. He, on offense, on defense, he follows up his own shot. He follows up his teammate's shot. On defensive board, he constantly like that. And that's when he ran a lot of minutes in the second half.
Right.
And I already knew that, right? You knew about the motor. You knew about the rebounding. That's what was always going to be a thing. The defense, like you said, was good. I think what really stuck out to me was the way they used him.
Yeah.
When you watch those Canada games, it was a lot of handing him the ball, let him drive in. He's a tremendous driver, no question. But he really established a solid post game. You saw the spin move in that one play. But overall, it's the post game, the strength down there. If that can, because that's something that OSU, I think that's really where the second half that's how OSU started to control the second half. It's getting, you forget the fact you have Cade and Isaac Likely and all these guys. Get the ball in the post against a team that continues to double time and time again. Get on those one-on-one matchups. And Alexander-Moncrief is not the traditional just back you down post player. He's the new age where you got the athleticism, you got the handling, put the ball on the floor as a post guy. That's what Matthew Alexander-Moncrief did. And that's why he earned so many minutes in the second half. The rebounding for sure, and the post game. That's what I really liked from him.
Yeah, totally. And another group of guys that let's lump them in together a little bit is the Boone twins. These are two guys that really impressed. Go away from some of the newbies here. We got some guys who are a little bit more experienced, right, and who are coming into their own in terms of their game. What did you see from the Boone twins, and what sort of do you see from them going forward?
I remember one press conference, Mike Boynton said, Keelan Boone is a better rebounder too. I swear to this day that he had misspoke. But I mean, Keelan Boone, you saw it today. I didn't realize until about 5 minutes into this game why Keelan Boone was starting
Exactly,
over
right?
Alexander Moncrief. Mike Wynn talked about how defensive rebounding was something that he was kind of worried that was going to be one of their weak points. They out-rebounded them by almost 20, I believe.
They did.
And that was something that really helped this team. I mean, you get it, right? When you think about their lack of size, yeah, you are worried about the defensive rebounding, first and foremost. It's the old saying in basketball, you didn't play defense unless you got the rebound.
Yeah.
You can play the best defense in the world, but if you didn't get the rebound, you didn't play defense, right? And I was kind of worried too. I mean, you look at the size on this team, outside of Bernard Como, who didn't play a single minute this game, you don't really have any size. You're playing a power forward there in Caleb Boone. Then after that, you're playing another power forward, I guess.
Yeah.
And then after that, you have nothing. You're just, and that's fine because you have such versatile guys. That's the main thing. From Cade to Ice to Keelan Boone to Caleb Boone, you have all these guys that can punch in there and rebound. And Mike Wynn said this, and I agree with him. It wasn't that they didn't have the personnel to do it. It was that it's just a sense of urgency, understanding the need to rebound. Think about it. If you're Cade Cunningham or Isaac Blake, or any of these guys, you're Avery Anderson, when have you ever had the need in high school to rebound, right? To step in there and grab those rebounds? Sure, you have the ability, but you have big men. That's their job. You've never needed to do that, but now you do with this team. And you saw true commitment. You saw different guys jumping in. Matthew Alexander Moncrief and Keelan Boone, the two that really stepped out. I don't think Caleb had the best game here.
Sure.
But I think Keelan was really impressive. He got I think 11 rebounds, which is really great.
Yeah.
And he showed that dual ability where he can step out as a three-point shooter, which is great. He put the ball on the floor that one play went in, which is awesome. And then the rebounding, you saw that. I think the rebound was such a key here. And I mean, that's why the Boone twins are definitely great. It was good to see them. Keelan Boone, I think, so impressed me so much with the rebounding, man. And I don't think he played a lot of minutes either.
No, and I actually completely agree with you. I remember that press conference where Boynton said that, and I was thinking the same thing. I was like, this guy, there's no way, right?
There's no way, right?
But it turned out to be true. It came into fruition today, and we'll see what happens with that going forward in the season. But, Sudeep, it's time. We got to talk about Cade. What did he do today that impressed you? Because, I mean, just ball handling wise and confidence driving down the floor. I mean, this guy looked like confident as heck, even in some of the early woes that he had, I guess if you can call it that.
Cade Cunningham is not a typical superstar in the sense where he's not a LeBron or Russell Westbrook, where he's got this crazy athleticism and jumps at you. He's not going to go and score 40 every night. He's not going to do all this and that, right? But he is so talented, and it's almost deceiving. Even when he's driving in, you don't see it. He kind of drives someone like Isaac Blakely, where it's like that build. He's a good athlete, right? He's definitely a good athlete. You see that the balance, the strength when he's driving, the IQ, and the understanding of where the defenders are, how to manipulate them, and body control. His body control is out of this world.
Off the charts.
And then you see the strength time and time again. But a lot of this came down. I mean, first off, I'm great on him. Before we get onto what happened overall. Yeah. I mean, Cade Cunningham, the shooting. Talk about him. Let's dispel it right now. Cade Cunningham is a great shooter.
Cade is a shooter.
Please, I mean, you knew this going. Like, here's what I keep saying. In high school, when you're that big, that talented, and that smart, you understand. Why do I need to step out and shoot? I can get past someone. I can bully ball every
time.
And even if you don't, you draw a double team and pass out to a wide open guy. So why would you shoot? That's smart. That's IQ. But now he's realizing, okay, this is Division I basketball. This is Power 5 basketball. You can't do that every play. You got to step back. You got to hit your shots when they give you this much space. You got to take them when you're open. And that really opened the floor. That changes the complexion. Not just this game, but going forward.
Totally. And UT Arlington, I know Frank Pacello mentioned it on the broadcast that this is a talented team. It's still a Division I program, right? And you're going to get some production out of them for sure. And speaking of like guys he can kick it out to, right? What did you see from Farron Flavors today that impressed you? Because, I mean, just looking at him, I mean, he could shoot all over the gym, right? There was some, here and there where he obviously missed, and he may be more consistent going forward. But, I mean, I think he had a pretty solid first performance for these OSU Cowboys.
I mean, right off the bat, about his catch and shoot ability, which he did once again. He's there as a guy you can kick out at any time. But what I want to see going forward is, which I know he can do because you see it at Cal Baptist, his ability when he gets the ball in his hands to drive in and get to the rim, or what he does really well is when he's driving in, he'll stop on a dime, pull up, fadeaway jump shot. He can hit off balance jumpers in the mid range. He can a little bit in the pick and roll game. He's got those sort of things. Now they probably didn't need him to do that here in this game, but I think he's got that sort of ability. But for the role that he played when he needs to, just as a catch and shoot guy, I think it was good. It gives you that sort of spacing. You saw the deep three. Obviously, he's going to get more and more consistent, hit more and more threes. I don't care if he misses them. I don't care that OSU went 0-8 to begin the game. They were really good, and they were really good looks, which is all you can ask for. And it's like I always say, I mean, if my team were to miss 0 for 10 on threes, I don't care if they're 0 for 10 good shots.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. And I mean, that's why him, Keelan, some of those shots, Chris Harris, good shots. Keep taking them, especially with the way UT Arlington is playing.
Totally, yeah, and we're going to see some of this progression going forward in the season, and just other things like that, and see what this team can do going forward.
And I mean, just wrapping up on this game, I think early on it looked kind of messy with the 0 for 8 3-pointers. They were taking a lot of threes. But honestly, it wasn't, I mean, as Coach Point said, it wasn't by design. They were trying to go inside. But from the very beginning, you saw how disciplined and how well this UT Arlington team was rotating. It was like this. It was like they were rotating weak side help every single play. It's a moment, I mean, Cade and Ice, their strength is going downhill on drives. But there wasn't any space to do that. And what do you got to do? You kick out to wide open shooters. What does that do? That decompresses the defense, and the next play you can get to the rim. But that's where it starts. You got to take the good shots, especially when you have the personnel do it. Last year they didn't, right? They didn't have the same shooters. Now you have them. Just because they missed doesn't mean they're going to miss next game. But I think it was the right thing, to take those shots. As the game went on and on, Cade realized, okay, if those shots aren't going to go in, me driving in against double teams or putting on some moves is a better move than let me kick it out to a guy. I mean that's something you have to do. It's like Steph Curry, the Warriors. Him hitting out to Harrison Barnes for a wide open three. It's not as good a shot as him stepping back with two guys. You know what I'm saying? It's not a perfect science, but sometimes these are decisions you make as superstars. And Isaac Blakely, I mean, don't call it a bad game. He, especially in the second half, he started scoring. But even the first half, he was dishing out assists. He was grabbing some rebounds, playing defense. These are the type of things you're going to see. You're not going to see the same Isaac Blakely you did statistically last year. You're not. He's a secondary playmaker now. He shares the floor with Cade, but you're going to see the blow-up games here and there. But he's going to play his role, and he's going to make this offense better overall, right? And, I mean, great to see a jump shot from Ice. That's obviously something that I was wondering. And it's not just that, okay, he can't fit with Cade unless he can shoot. Because they're both smart guys, and they understand basketball, and they can shoot enough and make great plays. But it's the thing of it helps. It never hurts to have too much shooting, and it's good that he can do that. But yeah, overall, I mean, good game plan, I think, because you took the right shots. I just think it didn't go in, but it's one of those things. You free throws and turnovers. If you start turning over maybe 5-6 less turnovers, make a few more free throws, this looks like a 20-point blowout. But it's good, like Coach Boyne said. This is good for a young team. I agree with 100%. You'd rather have a almost loss. I mean, honestly, at times you'd rather have a loss than a 30-point win, because if you're this team, here's what I would say. If you can tell someone, don't turn the ball over, that's going to hurt you. Or you can tell someone, don't miss free throws, it's going to hurt you. But when you actually do in the game, that's when you realize how much it hurts you.
Totally, yeah. And going forward, this team's going to have to, have that chip on their shoulder, and this is the kind of win. A nice gritted out win, a 7-point win, I believe, to really get that chip on their shoulder going forward for this OSU squad. And they will be going up again in just a couple days, I believe, against Texas Southern. The OSU Cowboys will continue on in their season. The Cade Cunningham Show will continue on. Thank you for tuning in to the Ocali Sports coverage. Follow us at Ocali on Twitter and at Ocali.com. For Ryan Novozinsky, Sudeep, Tumma. Have a great day.